we're just going to leave it for a bit.
Someone can create a watch party in your group. If you're watching on Instagram, like that. Right. Let's add some people. Don't know if you want to start your greeting now.
Did you start the watch?
Your greeting.
No, did you start the watch party?
Yeah. Just inviting people now.
Oh, wait a moment.
A lot of people have just recently joined your group. Loads and loads of people. You've got a couple people watching now. Don't know if you want to start your greeting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the Destiny Hour with Paul, psychic, guidance counselor. I'm inviting you to ask any questions about love, life, anything that's bothering you, big or small, silly, stupid. Please drop a comment and we'll answer those questions. I think everybody needs a little bit of advice. I'm a full-time psychic, so if you do need to make an appointment, I'll give you that during the show. If anybody wants to check out the website, it's www.DestinyHourWithPaul.com, and you can do a little bit of a bio check on me. If you would like to make an appointment, we can do it through the website as well. There's also an online shop with a couple of items which are tremendously useful. So I'm inviting you to have a look at the website. I'm inviting you to drop some comments and ask some questions about love, life, anything. So it's a daily broadcast, 8 o'clock, South African time, live from Johannesburg. So if you do want to share, that would be lovely. Anybody that needs help, that you think needs help, why don't you share this with them? Because sharing is caring, isn't it, Shay?
Yes, indeed.
Right. Shay, you'll hear in the background, is the producer. And that's the title we've given her. She's also the editor, the boss. Can we say boss? You like boss?
My pleasure, the boss. I'm just the magic hand behind the scenes.
I'm just the little diva that sits in front of the lights. Anyway,
We have a question
welcome.
from a Nessa. What does my next year look like?
Your next year. Are you finished with this one, Nessa? That was quick. Well, I know what you mean. Okay. Thank you for your comment. Let's have a look at you, Ness. You're not happy, are you? I'm getting you miserable, unhappy. Okay, that's what it's coming. It could be me, but I think it's you getting a misery about this. Wow. Okay, it's a good time for you to start being serious about your career. And I know what you're going to say. The mood you're in, I am serious. I know. But you need to be more serious. Emotion aside, because we don't, your advancement doesn't need your emotion. Okay, so take the bad emotion and start getting serious about where you want to go. And I'm telling you, opportunity is knocking in the shortest of time. Now, I don't know if you're toying with an idea of is it your own business? This is you're driven. Okay, you've been thinking about this probably for the past 6-7 months. Okay, and I want you to seriously consider what it is that you've been thinking about and taking it a step further. There's opportunity, there's success surrounding that next step, provided you do it without sort of the emotional baggage that you've been holding on to, if I can say it like that. Looks like a cracking year for you, Nessa. It really does. But it needs some serious thought. It needs some creative ideas. But you have got the personality and you are driven for this to succeed. So I'd love to know what your ideas are. And then we can fine-tune them if you like, or give you some guidance. But it looks good. And it all happens, I want to say maybe end of February, March. Things seem to fall into place. So good luck for that. It's wonderful. So you're with the Destiny Hour with Paul. We broadcast every day at 8 p.m. And I'm inviting any comments or any questions you may have. And we answer them as best and as truthfully as possible. There's no witchy voodoo nonsense involved. It's a God-given talent. So anybody thinks that this is from the devil, no, really not. This is a God-given talent, and say my prayers every day. So just want you to know that. It's a safe call for you. Anyway, speaking of safe calls, anybody come through?
We have a
New people. Hello, new people. Welcome.
And a couple of people watching.
The watchers. Hello, watchers. Welcome, everybody. If you don't have a comment, it'll be good just to share, because I'm sure there's somebody you know that may need some help or guidance. And that's what we do, help and guidance. And we give people hope. As George Harrison said, give me hope, help me cope. And that's what we do. And I'm allowed to say that because I was born in Liverpool. And so was George. In fact, George went to the same school as Nana. Yeah. It is. George could have been my daddy. But I'm glad he wasn't. I'm glad I had my daddy. Anyway, this is my full-time job. Help, whatever you want, whatever you need, whatever's on your mind.
Got a comment from Trudy. I'm watching from Thailand. Hi there in South Africa.
Wow, Thailand. Wow, that's just amazing. Little old me in Thailand. Wow, welcome. Thank you for that comment. Means the world. It is the world. I'm very excited. That's so nice. You know, you just never know where you end up. And it's a thrill, absolute thrill. Welcome and thank you.
We got Nessa asking another question.
Nessa, yes.
Do I have a spirit waiting to speak to me?
Curious question. Do you have a spirit waiting to speak to you? That is, I guess we could all say yes in that regard. There is a female energy with you. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So whether it's a loved one that's passed that's with you, and I'm strongly suspecting that it is. We all have guardian angels, as you know. And I like to think we were born with our guardian angels. And they're the responsible ones for taking our prayers to the Almighty. But people we've loved and who've loved us along the way often come in as guides. So the answer is we could have guides around us as well. Perhaps particularly in your time of need. I think that you are looking for answers. But sometimes answers are given in different ways. The trouble is why we can't hear our guides a lot is because the minute we take their advice and something goes wrong, then we would blame them. Oh, it's your fault. Typical humans. It's your fault. So a lot of the time they are just with us to protect us and to guide us. They don't want to interfere per se. They're like a babysitter, if I can say it like that. So what I am getting from your question is that you do have questions. Okay, and without trying to make a sale, I think it'd be a good idea to make an appointment and let's discuss all those questions that you may have. But right now, know this, that you are protected and you are loved. And I thank you for that comment.
And a couple of new people joining.
Welcome, new people. Nice to see you. It's Paul, Destiny Hour with Paul, psychic, counselor. If there's any questions, any guidance, any issues, big, small, silly, stupid, please ask. Health, that's a big one for everybody. Please drop a comment. We're on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Instagram.
We had a
welcome and welcome. Nice to see you. If you have any questions, drop a comment. If you have reason to share me. It sounds so cheap, doesn't it? Share me. Please do, because there's always somebody that needs help or guidance. Over to you, Shay.
You got a thank you from Nessa and a couple more people joining in to watch.
Thank you, Nessa. Thank you for saying thank you. Means the world. Tells me you're a lady as well. Ain't many of them about these days. Know what I mean?
I think it's Pepsi time.
Now I had a sip of Pepsi. If it is going to be quiet, I may have to do one of my poems.
No, but it is not quiet.
Now, I don't want to torture you, but if you do not comment, you're going to be getting one of my poems. So get there, comment on the Facebook, ask your questions, please.
Trudy asks, my dad died last year, July. He pushed me and my sisters out of his life, and we did not know he was terminally ill. I did have a change to see him before his death because I was in Thailand. I have a lot of unresolved issues with regards to my dad. Can you tell me anything?
Wow. Okay. Great question. And I do say sorry for your loss, even though it's belated. But it's still, there's still that hole that is created. Guys are the funniest and simplest of creatures. When we cannot control something, we either get cross or we lose the plot. Okay, now what I want to say to you, what's coming through loud and clear with your dad, is that he knew he was ill. Before he knew things were off before he was ill. So and this might sound really, really strange. He could not control his health, but he could control the kids. And so rather than wanting that shock and surprise when he died, what he tried to do is push you away and almost in an attempt to prepare you for the loss. Crazy as it sounds, but guys can be, we are controlling. There's no doubt about it. And we've got funny ways of showing it. And I'm sure you do have questions, but I want you to understand this. He pushed you away so it didn't hurt you when it came. And I stand by that because I've got goosies coming through. Okay? Make no mistake, it was a strange way of doing things, but he did it because he loved. Okay? And I've got a feeling he left you stuff which if you haven't received now, but he wanted you to have. And strange as it is, it's like man stuff. So it might be a pen. You get man pens, right?
I believe so.
Only for men. Okay. But there's kind of a pen, or I don't know if it's cufflinks, but it's like a man stuff. Maybe a tie pin. And he wanted you to have that. Okay. And I still think if you haven't received it, I do think it's going to come across your path. Well, I will tell you, and I'm not even looking at the cards. Okay, this is the gift. Okay, Dad loves you, and whatever you chose to call him, Uncle, call him by his first name, Papa, whatever it is you chose to call him, he still loves you. Okay? And I will tell you this, he acknowledges his ways weren't the best. But know this, that you are loved. I'm going to tell you now, there's I know you can smell him at times. Okay? There's that odor. Sounds terrible. That fragrance. Okay? It's the daddy fragrance. Okay? There's going to be a visit, sort of like a smell coming to you. And in the next 3, there's going to be a dream. And so what I'm getting is that he's asking permission to enter your dream. And you're going to see in the dream that it's not a shock, it's not a nightmare, it's a love visit, and it's because he cares. Okay, you're loved. Thank you.
We have a question from Kelly, which is quite an interesting one.
Kelly, hello, welcome, Kelly.
She says, hello, I have a question. Is it possible to think you have found your twin flame, like your soulmate, but not feel any attraction to them at all?
Oh, well done. Woo! It's Tuesday. It's 8 o'clock here in Joburg. And you come with intelligent questions. How dare you? Now I've got to think. It's a brilliant question. And to answer you, you're absolutely right. Because you see in a lot of couples that have been together for years, that they are more like brother and sister, okay, rather than lovers, as it were. So the answer is absolutely. You become so used to people or your partner that the attraction factor sort of fades. The chemistry sort of dips, and there's no sort of excitement because you've kind of fallen in to habit. So yes, it is possible. What I'm going to say to you, it's a bit like flat Pepsi, okay? There's no bubbles. It's still beautiful and sweet, and it still satisfies your thirst, but there's no fizz and no bubbles, okay? And that's what I think has happened to you. And it takes both of you to add the bubbles, okay? And it's not 50-50. You've got to give 100%, and so has your partner, okay? If he's preoccupied with TV, computer, his phone, TV games, or the PlayStations, then that is the mistress in this, okay? And you need to speak up about this because it's an issue. But I'm getting a definite third party in this, not necessarily another person, but another thing in this, and it's a love triangle, and that's why I think it's gone stale. So yes, great question. Thanks, Kelly.
Now we've got a bit of radio silence.
They're forcing me to do my poem, Shay. If they're going to be silent, my poem is going live. So it's up to you, folks. If you don't want nightmares, start commenting. Otherwise, that poem is coming. You know, today, Shay, something came to mind.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, and it's when we were kids. Okay, I had a brother, and he was some 4 years younger than me. So in those days, come the weekend, we would get in the car and we'd drive, and Mum and Dad would drive us around, and Mum would usually have a magazine, and then quite often she would read the star signs. And I must have been about 14, and my brother sort of 10. And she would read my dad's, and then she would read her own. And then she'd say, because we were both born in April, so she would read out April's Taurus, I beg your pardon. Taurus is star signs. And both my brother and I would say, oh, great, we're going to get this, or we're going to do that. And this went on for quite some time. You know, we wouldn't go out every weekend, but when we did, Mum would take out the magazine and read, and we'd go, what about us? What about us? And then she'd read our star signs. And it wasn't till about 2 years later, when I started reading at 16, that I had a look at the magazine. And it turned out my brother was born in the beginning of April, and he wasn't a Taurus at all. He was an Aries. So for 2 years, he'd been getting the wrong star sign. and he's been broken ever since. Poor misguided fool. So I just thought, you know, when you do read your star signs in the morning, or whenever you do, I just thought, you know, if it tells you you're going to have a terrible day, why don't you just swap? Oh my goodness, I don't know where that came from, but you know, that's one of the stories. So I'm inviting you to drop some comments. Big, small, silly, big questions, serious questions. We're here to help. Anything come through?
Just two things. Kelly says that was scary accurate. I love the Pepsi analogy though.
Thank you, Kelly. Kelly, you're a little bit intelligent.
You got a question on Instagram?
Yes, Instagram.
From the Duke himself.
Who?
The Duke from last night.
Your Majesty, welcome. Nice to see you again.
And he's using the most impressive English I have read in
I
a long time.
love it. Go on.
Okay. He says, Dear Lord Paul of Robitsa, I trust thy evening has been enjoyable. I pose to thee this question. Will I acquire a substantial amount of coin? And if indeed so, any idea where said coin will come from? P.S. Good evening, Shay.
Good evening, Duke. You're a scream. You're an absolute riot. Yes, not for the first part of this year. I'm going to say this. I think there's wealth associated with an inheritance, something along those lines. Don't want to say bad things, but maybe a long lost uncle. Because if you're this charismatic to somebody you don't know, I would imagine you're quite a popular chap. So I'm going to say this to you. You're going to be in somebody's last will and testament. Money, I would say, by the time it's wrapped up, perhaps 2021. Looking good for me. But there is coins in your purse. Thank you, Your Majesty. It's gone quiet. You're going to get the poem. If you're just sitting there watching, I'm telling you this poem's coming. Don't make me do it, folks. If you want to join me in a reading so you can actually pay me, because it is my living, 078 122 3584. We do this on the phone. We can do it on Skype. We can do it in person as well, in Springs, Johannesburg. So do this 7 days a week. So over to you. Make an appointment. If you're all shy and you still want to check me out and you think, who the hell's this dude? You can check me out on www.DestinyHourWithPaul.com. And there's an online shop where it's very interesting. 3 items, but they could change your life. Have a look. It's good. www.DestinyHourWithPaul.com. And remember to drop your comments. I'm here to help. My producer is smiling. Why are you smiling?
Because Kelly is back in the picture and she says, I'll ask all the questions, but I also want to hear the poem.
Kelly, do you see what I mean? Kelly, you ask any questions you want, my sweetie. I think you're fabulous. You sound just like a breath of fresh air. But I'm telling you, if you do not answer questions soon, that poem is coming. And there'll be a new one every night. I don't go away. So, let me tell you about those items on the shop, in the shop, on the shop, in the shop. Do you want love in your life? Do you? I don't know, it's a question. Okay, I've invented a cream. And you're going to say, oh, that's a load of nonsense. Well, it's not. Okay, it works. Okay, if you're healing from a bad relationship, you need healing, emotional healing. If your heart's aching, if you want to invite love into your life, or have more loving thoughts, or people to be more loving towards you, you want to try this cream. It comes with an atomizer, which we spray in the air to create a beautiful atmosphere. It comes with a prayer as well, which you repeat every day. The results have been absolutely mind-boggling. Have a look. That's the love cream. Over to you, Shay.
No comments as yet. People are quite shy tonight.
Quite shy. You looking at me? You need to drop a comment.
Or tag some friends.
Oh, is that what they do these days?
Yeah.
On the fax machine. Can you tag your friends, please?
On Windows 98.
Yeah. I'm still on the old Windows 98 program. It's a bit slow. But please, drop a comment. Give me a question. Don't ask for lotto numbers. Because, really, that's just being silly, isn't it? I can hear people going, no, it's not really silly. I need the money. Yeah, well, it's silly. It's like trying to guess somebody's cell phone number. Yeah? It's a game of chance. I can tell you if you're going to be lucky. But the actual win of the lotto, well, that's over to chance. So, do you want a story while we are waiting? Biggest fear of mine is dead air. Because it's not right, is it? So I've got to fill the time until you get your comments in. Quite a number of years ago, I was still at school. It was last year, I think. No, quite a few years ago, I was at school. And a good mate of mine was having some trouble. And he came from an alcoholic home. He wasn't. He was 16. I was 16. And his dad was a pathetic alcoholic, pathetic drunk. And so we were friends, but I felt so sorry for him. And so he was also English. And we got invited to a charismatic church. And, you know, when you're 16, your mind is going in all sorts of directions, or also your hormones. You don't know your identity. Anyway, so we thought this would be a good idea. So we were invited by this religious brother and sister, and they took us to they picked us up and they dropped us off at this charismatic church. And it was a theater. It was packed. There were hundreds of people. And so the preacher said, look, anybody, we were as nervous as can be. I mean, we were very reserved. So we were sort of sitting there going, yes, 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 yes. And saying a prayer for poor old Neil and what have you. Anyway, the guy that invited us, he had terrible, terrible acne. It was an eyesore. It really, really was. And he had pock marks and, you really really felt sorry for the guy. So when it came time for the priest to say, look, come up if you need a healing, the guy that took us got up and he made his way forward and he went and he got his healing. So on the way back, which is some half an hour later, my friend Neil, she said to him, did you go up and ask for a healing on your skin? And this friend of mine just went quiet. He said, no, I went up for dandruff. So needless to say, we never went back to that church. So just be careful what you say.
Got a serious question.
Yeah.
Again from Kelly, because she's quite interested in what you have to
Yes,
offer.
Kelly?
A serious question with regard to my first. I actually am single, but there are two paths I could venture down. On one hand, there is mutual interest with a man that I'm quite attracted to, the Pepsi with the bubbles, the analogy that you used earlier. On the other hand, I met a friend of mine who's like a mirror of my soul, but there's no attraction, the flat Pepsi. Let's see what else she said. I am not the sort to date more than one person at a time, but I'm torn whether I should follow my heart or my soul, if these things are even separate. Any words of wisdom?
Remember this. This is, it's quite an amazing fact, actually. When you go out with somebody, most of the time, okay, communication is on the phone, it's by text, it's in the dark. It's quite rare to actually communicate when you're not eating or doing the household chores, to actually sit down and have a 5-minute conversation face to face with that person. Okay? Everything is sort of done without seeing them, amazingly enough, if you think about it. Okay? Here's the thing, Kelly. If you close your eyes, okay, what feels right? You want the bubbles. Granted, I get that. You want the bubbles. But that will come with the other person. Are you with me? Who is slightly better off out of the two? It could be a little bit older as well. Okay? That's the security side of things. But I'm tending to think it's the other one. I hope I've made sense. Close your eyes and feel. Don't look. We can, of course, if you are confused, we can do a telephone reading at 078 122 3584. So if you are battling with a decision, let me know. We'll come up with the right one.
Got some new viewers joining us.
Welcome, new viewers. This is Paul, the Destiny Hour, live from Johannesburg. We do this every night, inviting your questions, whatever questions you have, big, small, love, life, any kind of guidance we can give or hope, help you cope. Please, I'm inviting you for comments. Should you wish to have a look at the website, it's www.DestinyHourWithPaul.com. Having said that, if it goes quiet, and I've been threatening all broadcast, if you do not respond, I will be reading my poem. Just threatening, not saying anything else. So if you don't want to hear the poem, start commenting. Anything, Shay?
Kelly says thanks for answering.
Okay, Kelly.
And you got quite a lot of confirmations from people while you were doing the readings, but didn't want to interrupt you. Everything you said has been spot on so far, and I'm not just saying that to boost your ego.
Oh, okay. Thank you, good people. It means the world to me. Gives me a little. It gives me a pat on the back and a little push to say that I'm doing the right thing. Okay, everybody needs that little push. So thank you for your comments. It really means a lot to me.
We've got some more people joining us.
Welcome. Destiny Hour with Paul. Come on, you must have questions for the psychic. If you do, I'll answer them. Big, small, silly. It's not witchy voodoo nonsense. I do say my prayers. Okay, it's a God-given talent. So better use it for the good of people.
Oh, we've got a very nice one here.
Yes.
Jacqueline. Hi, Paul. Missed you. Are you able to tell me who my spirit guide is?
Who's this?
Jacqueline.
Your spirit guide. Oh, okay.
No need for that poem now, hey?
Hmm?
No need for the poem now, hey?
And does the initial D mean anything to you? D for Dad. I've got that. Okay, and it could also be a surname. So, but D has come through. Does that mean anything to you? It's a male energy. I just need to say that. And there's a reference to animals. I don't know if you're mad about dogs or your guide was. It might be an affinity to wolves. If that makes any sense. Sometimes when it comes through, it's kind of crazy. Dogs, wolves, and a D. I hope that means something. But it's definitely a male energy.
Question from a Sharon.
Sharon, hello Sharon.
She says, hi, can you pick up anything for me?
Wow. Sharon, you need to listen to yourself. People are trying to give you information, and you already know. But you've got your very strong personality. Can I say it like that? Very strong personality. And you're prone to the blues and getting, stop that, depression or the dips. It's because, you've got this desire to better yourself. I want you to stop putting that enormous pressure on yourself, because something is brewing. Now, I am going to say this. I'm not sure if there's room in your life for romance, but something is going to come like a bolt of lightning the latter half of this year, and knock you off your feet. Need to say that. If indeed it's not a love issue, it's a tremendous, again, opportunity and something completely different to what you're used to right now. So something is just going to come and transform you, whether it be job, love, it could be both. But I'm just saying to you, stop being so hard on yourself. You don't need to be. We know you've got standards and you're a little bit of OCD. Little bit of okay? Just guard against that. Don't let it rule your life. Okay? You're a lovely person. Okay? And things are going to change the latter half of this year. So I look forward to that change because it's going to be good. Shay.
Sharon says about time when it comes to when you said a big change is coming.
Yeah, big change. So enjoy your freedom while you can. All right? Watch anything you want on TV. Eat anything you want, because when it comes, and this is after mid-year, it all changes, because then you have to think of the others.
Yes, we got a lovely comment from a twinette. I'm waiting for the poem. I'm listening and hearing other people's thoughts and questions, and my mind is too busy to ask one specific question, so please don't mind me hanging around.
I don't mind you hanging around. Oh, you little lady, you. Woo. Okay. So she doesn't have a question.
Not yet, but she likes watching me. I think that's a good compliment. We have a question from an Angela. Hi Paul, I have certain abilities. Can you tell me what is the most predominant ability that I have? These abilities have been developing quite rapidly over the last year. Thank you.
Okay. Lovely question. Okay. You seem to be wide open. So all the emotions are and all senses are wide open. Okay. I do get this ability for you, and that's the if I can use the long name, clairsentience. Okay, and the minute you said that, I almost got a tear in my eye, and that for people watching is the ability to feel. Okay, it's that that emotion that you feel the other person, and you kind of take on their emotions and their aches and pains. It's a very tricky a gift to have. Where I say that is, if you are with somebody or dealing with a client, you can, if you're not strong enough, inherit their aches and pains and their emotional situation, which can harm you. So if that's the way that I think that you're going, cleansing, strong will, prayer, crystals, anything you can to get rid of that, because it can burden you. But I'm getting dark hair. Don't know why. All right. So but I'm getting a nice feel and desire to help people. So do carry on developing that. And I wish you all the luck in the world, because I think a lot of people need help. But do not get taken advantage of. And people that care like that have a tendency to get stepped on and walked on. So I'm guarding you against that. Okay, but lovely, nice, and thanks for the comment.
Well, we have 3 questions. We have one from the Facebook group from Sharon again.
Sharon?
Do you have anything for my son?
Sharon's son. Okay, Sharon. From her son or for her son?
For her son.
For her son, okay. Okay. He's got to stop. I think he's a bit stubborn. He's little bit difficult. Can I say it? And you won't be cross. A little bit difficult. But it's a phase he's going through. And it's a phase he's been going through for about 9 months. He's halfway. He's got another 9 months to go. And then this comes to an end. I'm getting a little bit of stubbornness, stroke, little bit cheeky. Okay. This phase that he's going through will die.
Oh, sorry. She says from, not for.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. He's going through something. Okay, 9 months. I don't know what that is that he's been going through, whether you've been feeling or knowing for 9 months. And I don't know whether he's going to be with you for the next 9 months, but something he's with you. Does that make sense? I was hoping that she'd comment again.
I'm sure she will. We've got 2 questions, one from Instagram and another from Kelly, but I want to get through this one because it will be shorter. From the Duke himself again.
Yes.
Would you perhaps be able to tell me what is the meaning of all these feelings that I'm having?
All the feelings.
All these feelings that he's having.
That's a good question. All these feelings. I think there's a rebirth in you. That's what I'd like to say. And I don't know whether you've got rid of some past, and that baggage has left room or space within you to grow and feel again. When there's a rebirth, everything looks fresh and new, and so you sort of feel sorry for people, you are excited for people. There's a whole bunch of emotions going on. Nothing wrong, okay? I think you're developing your caring and your heart, if I can say. Okay, nothing wrong.
Back to Sharon, she has just responded.
Yeah.
She said her son had passed 10 months ago.
10 months ago. 9 came through, and I'm sorry about that. When Shay read it to me, I actually thought from the okay. Really sorry about that. To answer your, and is there a message from him? Okay, all right. Nice one. Was this was his passing due to a vehicle? That's I've got movement in a vehicle. Okay, all right, and I've got him being a little bit sort of, I want to say, cross at what happened to him. Okay, so he's kind of very, very cross about what's happened. Okay. He's also angry that he's left you. That's what I'm saying to you. And what I've got is, I've got 9 months of being with you in the past, and I've still got another 9 months of him taking care of his mummy and looking after his mum. Okay? So as cruel as that may sound, it's also quite beautiful. It's kind of like you've got, I want to say, a bodyguard. What's coming through now is, and I don't want to sound like a song, but you cry into your pillow. Okay, there's tears on your pillow. Okay, and there's something about your bedroom. Okay, and I'm getting white curtains. So whether you've got light or white color curtains. And my feeling is that you have seen wind blow into your room whilst you've been crying. Okay, that is your son. Okay, and he's not going to leave you until you don't get over a death. You learn to live with that hole. Okay, so don't think you're going to get over it. You learn to live with that hole, and life goes on around that hole. You've got another 9 months, okay, of protection and healing, and he will not let anything happen to you. And there's some reference to a dog, okay? That's what I'm saying. It's a C sounding name. C. Okay? He's with you, and he's only with you because he loves you. Keep in touch, please, my sweetheart, and God bless.
Now to get on to Kelly's question. She has a friend who isn't on social media, but she wants to ask on behalf of him.
Okay, Kelly.
He is struggling to get his life together, mostly weighed down by depression and feeling useless because he's too anxious to work.
Oh.
He lost his creativity and can't find the inspiration to paint anymore, and feels like he's wasted his time and money studying fine art. He has taken steps to see professionals, but what can he do in the meantime to feel better?
Okay. Right. Great question. And Kelly, great friend. Thank you. He needs to put down his paintbrushes. He has to put them down. I think he needs to go in another direction. I like the fine art. If he's studying fine art, that's fantastic. But I can see it almost going into a graphic kind of situation. So if he was planning on being an artist as such, I'm going to say that it's not going to happen. And to make money as an artist it's almost impossible. He's got 2 years to go, so whether it's this year or next year, okay. But I don't want him thinking in terms of being Van Gogh, because he only sold one painting in his whole lifetime. Okay, I don't want him to think in terms of that. But I got a feeling it's not the fine art which is upsetting your friend. There's something else. I don't think he thinks he thought he was better than he's producing. So there is that aspect, but this is a bit deeper. It's got nothing really to do with the fine art. This has got to do with something deeper, and I'm getting a male figure in relation to this. So I'm not going to blame the art for his depression or his anxiety. I am going to blame other factors. Okay, he needs to look after himself, and you know what? He needs to give me a call, or he needs to get on this program, because I'm going to be too willing to help. Kelly, you're a good friend. The world needs people like you.
We are approaching the end of the hour.
Are we up? Is that the hour already?
Almost 59th minute of the broadcast.
Wow, that's nice. Glad people were responding tonight.
Yeah, that is.
So if you would like to make an appointment in Johannesburg, we can do this on the phone. If you want to hear more about yourself or an in-depth reading, 078 122 3584. If indeed you want to have a look on the website, www.DestinyHourWithPaul.com. If you want a consultation face-to-face here in Springs, Johannesburg, do this 7 days a week. Everything is done with love, and we don't sugarcoat anything. If it's the truth that you want, well, you're going to get it. Okay? Everything is done with love, and this is a God-given ability. and I'm blessed to be able to do this as a living. It comes from above. Taking any more questions should you have.
No, I think everyone is quiet tonight.
Should I give them a poem?
You've been dying to read your poem all night.
Okay, I decided to write a poem merely to fill time and make you think. You take from it what you want. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it. It's 14 pages. No, I'm joking. It's not. Take from it what you want. Here we go. There's always a line that never seems answered. Always a thrill at the edge of disaster. Never enough money, yet we are always seem spent. There's never a love without a master. Are we living like thieves? Yeah, we're living like thieves, stealing moments in time, and time is the enemy. There's always a rumor in gossip and truth, always a doubt in the corner of our minds, always a seed that someone is sowing. Can I see a smile the morning after? I ask for love to set me free. Can your love set me free? For now, we're living like thieves. Yeah, keep living like thieves. That's my poem. It's going to get more torture if you don't comment tomorrow at 8 p.m. If you don't share it, you're a naughty boy, naughty girl. Look forward to hearing from you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. If you want a phone reading, 078 122 3584. I want to thank my daughter Shay for taking the questions and making me look good. And I want to thank you for asking the questions to make me feel good. I hope I've made a difference in your life, and I hope to see you again soon. God bless. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to each other.